Welcome to SR Flights. In this video about top 30 core Java interview questions and answers. What is Java? Java is a high-level programming language and is platform-independent. Java is a collection of objects. It was developed by Sun Microsystems. There are a lot of applications, websites, and games that are developed using Java. What are the features of Java? The features of Java: simple, robust, portable, platform-independent, secured, high-performance, multi-threaded, architecture-neutral, object-oriented, interpreted, dynamic. How does Java enable high performance? Java uses just-in-time compiler to enable high performance. It is used to convert the instructions into bytecodes. What are the Java IDEs? Eclipse and NetBeans are the IDEs of Java. What do you mean by constructor? When a new object is created in a program, a constructor gets invoked corresponding to the class. The constructor is a method which has the same name as the class name. If a user doesn't create a constructor implicitly, a default constructor will be created. The constructor can be overloaded. If the user created a constructor with a parameter, then he should create another constructor explicitly without a parameter. What is meant by the local variable and the instance variable? Local variables are defined in the method and scope of the variables that exist inside the method itself. Instance variable is defined inside the class and outside the method, and the scope of the variables exists throughout the class. What is a class? All Java codes are defined in a class. It has variables and methods. Variables are attributes which define the state of a class. Methods are the place where the exact business logic has to be done. It contains a set of statements, or instructions to satisfy the particular requirement. Example, public class addition is class name declaration, int equals 5. It is variable declaration, int b equals 5, public void add. It is method declaration, int c equals a plus b. What is an object? An instance of a class is called an object. The object has state and behavior. Whenever the JVM reads that new keyword, then it will create an instance of that class. Example, public class addition, public static void main, string args. Add and add equals new addition is object creation. The above code creates the object for the addition class. What are the OOPS concepts? OOPS concepts include inheritance, encapsulation, polymorphism, abstraction, interface. What is inheritance? Inheritance means one class can extend to another class, so that the codes can be reused from one class to another class. The existing class is known as the superclass, whereas the derived class is known as a subclass. Example, superclass, public class manipulation, subclass, public class addition extends manipulation. Inheritance is only applicable to the public and protected members only. Private members can't be inherited. What is encapsulation? Encapsulation is one of the fundamental concepts in object-oriented programming (OOP). It describes the idea of bundling data and methods that work on that data within one unit, e.g., a class in Java. This concept is also often used to hide the internal representation, or state, of an object from the outside. What is polymorphism? Polymorphism means many forms. A single object can refer to the superclass or subclass depending on the reference type, which is called polymorphism. Using the manipulation reference type, we can call the addition class add method. This ability is known as polymorphism. Polymorphism is applicable for overriding and not for overloading. What is meant by method overriding? Method overriding happens if the subclass method satisfies the below conditions with the superclass method. Method name should be the same, the argument should be the same, return type should also be the same. The key benefit of overriding is that the subclass can provide some specific information about that subclass type than the superclass. What is meant by overloading? Method overloading happens for different classes or within the same class. For method overloading, subclass methods should satisfy the below conditions with the superclass method, or methods in the same class itself, same method name, different argument types. There may be different return types. What is meant by interface? Multiple inheritances cannot be achieved in Java. To overcome this problem, the interface concept is introduced. An interface is a template which has only method declarations and not the method implementation. What is meant by abstract class? We can create the abstract class by using the abstract keyword before the class name. An abstract class can have both abstract methods and non-abstract methods that are a concrete class. Abstract method, the method which has only the declaration and not the implementation, is called the abstract method, and it has the keyword called abstract. Declarations ends with a semicolon. Difference between array and array list. The difference between array and array list can be understood from the table below. Difference between string builder, and string buffer. String variables are stored in a constant string pool. Once the string reference changes the old value that exists in the constant string pool, it cannot be erased. String buffer. Here string values are stored in a stack. If the values are changed, then the new value replaces the older value. The string buffer is synchronized, which is thread safe. Performance is slower than the string builder. String builder. This is the same as string buffer except for the string builder, which is not threaded safely, that is not synchronized. So obviously the performance is fast. Explain about public and private access specifiers. Public members are visible in the same package as well as the outside package that is for other packages. Private members are visible in the same class only and not for the other classes in the same package as well as classes in the outside packages. Difference between default and protected access specifiers. Default methods and variables declared in a class without any access specifiers are called default. Protected is the same as default, but if a class extends, then it is visible even if it is outside the package. What is multi-threading? Multiple threads are executed simultaneously. Each thread starts its own stack, based on the flow or priority of the threads. What is meant by ordered and sorted in collections? Ordered, it means the values that are stored in a collection is based on the values that are added to the collection. So we can iterate the values from the collection in a specific order. Sorted, sorting mechanisms can be applied internally or externally so that the group of objects sorted in a particular collection is based on the properties of the objects. Explain the priority queue. Queue interface. Priority queue linked list class has been enhanced to implement the queue interface. Queues can be handled with a linked list. The purpose of a queue is priority in, priority out. Hence elements are ordered either naturally or according to the comparator. The elements ordering represents their relative priority. What is meant by exception? An exception is a problem that can occur during the normal flow of execution. A method can throw an exception when something fails at runtime. If that exception couldn't be handled, then the execution gets terminated before it completes the task. If we handle the exception, then the normal flow gets continued. Exceptions are a subclass of Java, lang, exception. What are the advantages of exception handling? The advantages are as follows. The normal flow of the execution won't be terminated if an exception gets handled. We can identify the problem by using catch declaration. Explain about exception propagation. Exception is first thrown from the method which is at the top of the stack. If it doesn't catch, then it pops up the method and moves to the previous method and so on until they are got. This is called exception propagation. What is the final keyword in Java? Final variable. Once a variable is declared as final, then the value of the variable could not be changed. It is like a constant. What is a thread? In Java, the flow of execution is called thread. Every Java program has at least one thread called the main thread. The main thread is created by JVM. The user can define their own threads by extending the thread class, or by implementing the runnable interface. Threads are executed concurrently. Explain about joined method. Joined method is used to join one thread with the end of the currently running thread. How to stop a thread in Java. Explain about sleep method in a thread. We can stop a thread by using the following thread methods. Sleeping waiting block sleep. Sleep method is used to sleep the currently executing thread for the given amount of time. Once the thread is wake up, it can move to the runnable state. So sleep method is used to delay the execution for some period. It is a static method. Thank you.